One thing I really like about Linux is that if somebody wants to build their own distro, they can. You can take a major distro, change the defaults, add some tools, choose the desktop environment, and add gaming bits. You can even write a few scripts and suddenly you have a whole new Linux distro. And honestly, I think that is one of the coolest things about Linux. It can also be where things get a little bit risky, because some of the projects are really small, and I mean really small. Sometimes it is basically one person with a GitHub repo, Discord server, and far more enthusiasm than free time. It doesn't make it bad though. I really like the small distros. I like testing them and seeing what people are trying to fix with them. For me, as you know, I ended up on Fedora quite early, and after a year, I finally built my own setup on top of it. That way I know what I am relying on, and I'm not depending on a smaller project making loads of choices for me. So this video is really about letting you know what you're getting into before you build your whole setup around one of those smaller distros. Now, I can see why people like them. The appeal is obvious. You install one, and a lot of the annoying stuff has already been done for you. The desktop might look better out of the box. Steam might be ready to go. Software tools might already be there. Drivers and codecs just might be covered for you. And the installer might ask questions that actually make sense to a normal user. And if you're coming from Windows, that's a massive win. You probably don't want your first few evenings on Linux to be a fight with codecs, drivers, launch options, repositories and wiki pages. You just want to play your games, browse the web, use Discord and just get on with your day. If a smaller distro helps someone to do that, I think it's awesome. If it gets someone using Linux and they have a decent time, then they stick around long enough to learn what they actually like. That is why different distros, such as gaming ones, are so interesting to me. These projects looked at Linux and thought, yeah, I can make this a bit better. And that is a very Linux thing to do. I also like exploring this stuff on stream, spin the wheel. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, come and hang out on Sundays and we can poke around them together. But when it comes to these smaller distros, there is a catch, and that catch is maintenance. Starting a project is fun. Getting people to use it is really exciting. Maintaining the thing over months and years is a different job entirely. And this is the bit that people forget. Most niche distros are not built from nothing. They usually start with an existing distro and then add their own choices on top. Most of the time, there is a bigger project underneath with more people behind it. The smaller distro then adds bits that make it feel different. Custom repos, patched packages, scripts, gaming tweaks, desktop themes, kernel choices, update helpers, documentation, or maybe a welcome app that ties the whole thing together. Those extra bits are often the reason people love the distro, but they're also the bits that depend most on the people running the project. And the maintainers, well, they're people. They have jobs, families, good weeks, bad weeks, burnout, money problems, health problems. Sometimes they just lose interest because the project feels like a second job without the pay. That matters when the whole thing is only one or two people. The project might disappear, slow down, or just go in a direction that you don't like. Maybe the desktop environment changes, or a favourite tool gets changed or removed. The update model shifts from stable to rolling, or the maintainer adds more automation because it makes sense to them, while you preferred the old way. Now that doesn't usually make it wrong. It's their project. They get to make those calls. You just need to remember that when you install a smaller distro, you're also going along with their idea of what Linux should be. With the bigger projects, there is usually a bigger community and a much better chance that someone has already hit the same problem before you. With a smaller one, your whole experience can end up depending on a much smaller group of people, and that is the trade-off. But when it works pretty well. CachyOS is a good example of a smaller project getting real momentum. It focuses on performance, sensible defaults, kernel choices, making things easier for the user. Personally, it can feel a little bit over-engineered to me, but I also see why a newer Linux user would love it. You install it, and a lot of the rough edges have already been smoothed out for you. And that kind of momentum can make a project stronger. When more people use it, the project gets tested in more places. The community has more answers, and has a better chance of attracting maintainers or sponsors. That is great for Linux. Smaller projects can grow into something much more stable. They can also push ideas that the bigger projects would never really have tried first. The problem though is that not every project gets there. So what happens if a distro does disappear? This sounds scarier than it usually is. If a smaller distro disappears, the main project underneath usually is still there. A smaller project can shut down without taking the whole thing underneath with it. Your files are going to still be there, your Steam library is going to still exist. Most of your apps will probably exist somewhere. So when I talk about smaller distros disappearing, I don't mean that as a dramatic scare story. It's just that projects end. People move on. Sometimes the idea just fades away. It's easy to treat distro choice like there is one perfect answer. The forever distro. The one that finally makes everything click. The truth is though, a distro is just a starting point. It is a set of choices somebody's made before you got there. Some of those choices might be great for your hardware and your workflow. Others might annoy you immediately, and that's fine. Use a distro because it works right for you right now. Move if it stops working, or if the project changes, or if you outgrow it. It's not failure, it's just Linux. The important thing is that the skills transfer. You learn what the package manager does, how Flatpak works, which desktop environment you like, whether you prefer stable releases, rolling releases, atomic systems, minimal installs, or something already configured for you. Once you understand those basics, it is easier to move if something stops working for you. At that point, you are not using a distro because somebody on Reddit shouted the loudest. You're using it because you know why it fits you. And why does that matter for beginners? Well, it's especially important for people coming from Windows. A beginner doesn't need a lecture about the entire Linux ecosystem on day one. Most people just need something that works well enough to get started. So yeah, a smaller and more opinionated distro can be a really good starting point. If a gaming focused distro gets Steam working and gets somebody playing games without 3 evenings of reading, I'm all for it. And if you don't want to learn every bit of what the system is doing, that's fine as well. That might even be the whole reason you picked it. The only thing I would say is this though, be ready for the fact that the project could change later. So do I recommend these small niche Linux distros? Well, sometimes they can be useful, interesting, and sometimes genuinely brilliant. For me, the best distro is the one that works for you today, teaches you something useful, and leaves you in a better position tomorrow. And if that is a small niche distro, brilliant. If it is something boring and mainstream, that's fine as well. The goal is a system that lets you do exactly what you want to do, not winning the distro argument. So if you're getting into Linux, pick something that looks good to you and just dive in. Because if Linux sticks, you will probably change things later anyway. Just ask one question before you get too attached. What am I depending on? Anyway, let me know what you think below. Have you ever used a smaller Linux distro and absolutely loved it? Did it last, or did you eventually move on? If you've made it this far, thank you. I do really appreciate it. Consider liking and subscribing, and just drop an emoji down below for the sake of engagement. It really does help the channel. Thank you so much for watching. You guys take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.